Hello, welcome back to Bookend Gaming.
I'm gonna click it.
We're on the last part of the last story before the last story.
Oh, yeah.
We all know there's a secret story.
Do we, though? What if there isn't?
You gave it away right in the beginning.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Spoiler ruined.
This would be a weird one to end on anyway. Why would
it really would.
These two talking in a stairwell.
Anyways, I'm Eric.
I'm Travis.
And this is the Doki Doki Literature Club Plus Side Stories.
I'm wondering who's going to nod in this one.
It's probably going to be a lot of Yuri nods again.
Yeah, Natsuki doesn't nod. She shakes her head and shrugs.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, hello. I almost thought you weren't coming today.
Yeah, well.
Lunch is already more than halfway over.
I gotta rub one out real quick.
Natsuki had typically been meeting Yuri in the stairwell much earlier, since it had been a good way of dodging her friends. Well, she didn't feel like seeing them. Today, she's holding a large plastic container in both hands.
It's my friends. I ran into my friends, so I hung out with them for a while.
I made you a cobbler. Is that so?
Yeah. I was in a good mood today, so I figured I should. I hadn't seen him in a while, which I'd come up with an excuse for, but I expected that. Plus, I have way more of these than I know what to do with, so I figured I would share them with you too.
Oh. As she sits down, Natsuki opens the lid of her container.
Oh, what's that smell?
You made cupcakes.
You know it. It's been a while at this point, so figured it was about time again.
Are these cherries on top? Are you sure that's okay?
Sayori down the hall like, what?
Yeah.
You can take one if you want.
Yuri takes a cupcake and carefully twirls it between her fingers. It's brown.
Gross.
With dark green frosting immaculately shaped into a floral pattern and topped with some kind of glittery powder.
Dark green frosting is going to turn your poop green.
It definitely is. How pretty. I'd state so I may not be able to finish it. Are they for the club?
Yeah, I guess so. The Stairwell Club. I didn't really think about it, I just made them.
I just thought that because green is Monica's favorite color, right?
Well, yeah, but that's not really...
It's not
like I like her or anything.
It's gonna turn a poop green, though. Yuri takes a small bite.
It's actually black icing that does it to you.
This is green tea flavored.
Gross.
I love green tea.
Oh, do you? It's just a random idea I wanted to try, so...
Ha ha ha, you.
Don't laugh at me.
Oh. I'm not. I just felt happy. I'll never laugh again, I'm sorry.
I am happy! Ha 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 ha! Oh, sorry. Usually when... Never mind. What I mean is that I'm glad.
You're what?
Sorry for saying dumb things again. I just wanted to do something nice. And this is something I happen to be good at. And I do know that you like them from past experience.
Yuri turns red, recalling the time she treated herself rather generously to Natsuki's cupcakes.
I'd like to treat myself generously to Natsuki's cupcakes.
Yeah, ironically, her mouth is too full of cupcake for her to stammer an excuse, so she just settles for a disapproving look. How did you get into baking?
Oh, well, I don't know. Kind of just always appealed to me. Well, a few years ago, I read this one manga that had a lot of baking, so I got, super into it for a while. I was probably making stuff almost every day. But it's something that I always knew I liked anyway. It's like, baking is like art, but when you get good at it, it gets more delicious, too. Well, I eat my drawings,
I love to lick the canvas. I'm struggling to imagine myself putting my heart into something so artistic, knowing that it would just be eaten afterwards.
I have those smelly markers, and sometimes it kind of does taste like cherries. Yeah, maybe you're too practical for it.
I think I prefer to be the one on the receiving end.
Oh, really? That's my other favorite part about it.
Wait, what were we talking about?
Something I can do that makes a lot of people happy, unconditionally. Everyone is always so thankful, and in that moment you get to be like the bringer of joy. I don't know, it just makes me feel...
valued?
Yeah, I guess that.
So, you were able to make up with your friends today?
There wasn't really anything to make up with them about. We weren't fighting or anything.
Do I need to make more snarky comments today? You weren't? Maybe I misunderstood.
It only turns into a fight if I lose my cool, and that's just unnecessary drama. It only makes things worse. I just sit there and be a punching bag lightning rod for the whole group.
So they're not going to stop?
I mean, it only happens sometimes anyway. It's just the way they are. I'm the only one who ever has a problem with it. It's not worth it. Especially since I have somewhere to go now that I don't feel like hanging out with them. When I don't feel like hanging out with them.
Oh. I see.
I was actually going to stop coming here.
The cupcake's empty foil wrapper audibly crinkles as Yuri clenches a fist.
I reuse those.
I'm glad the situation is resolved, and that you don't have to avoid them anymore.
Yeah, me too.
Yuri.
I was waiting for it. I don't have to bother you during your alone time anymore. I'm sure you have a lot of reading to catch up on.
Yeah.
I know that the cupcakes are basically nothing compared to all the stuff you've done for me, but it's the best I can do. What has she done for you? Wrote you a letter? That's
Yeah.
it? So you can have the rest of them.
I can't read cupcakes. Natsuki grabs the box and slides it over to Yuri's feet.
One of the cupcakes has like a love note in it, and she's just hoping to God she gets to it.
Yuri stares at the box. Then she shakes her head and slides them back.
What is she doing? This is so unlike her.
You should save them for your other friends.
They don't exist, but I made them for you.
Natsuki's voice whines as she protests. I know, and I like them very much, exactly as you thought. You succeeded. But I know you care about making your other friends happy too. And if this is the way you know how to make that happen, then I'm not going to take it from you.
No, they were making you happy.
You make me happy. You're worth more than cupcakes to some people.
Just some.
Oh, I should write that down. That's good poetry. That's why they want to spend time with you and be your friend.
They're using you for your cupcakes.
Yeah. Without warning, tears pour from Natsuki's eyes. She pulls her knees to her chest and starts sobbing into her arms.
They're store-bought.
I lied. Natsuki.
I'm such a bad person.
Yuri stammers, feeling panicked. I didn't mean to say something bad. I'll nod my head again. I won't shake it ever again. Natsuki shakes her head and wipes her eyes.
Yeah, that's her thing. You didn't.
Natsuki tries to choke back her sobs, but struggles to speak through them.
I just really hate myself sometimes. It feels so wrong when you say those nice things to me. Like I don't deserve it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would you like to have a CG about it?
No, I am. I'm so difficult. And I can't think of even a single thing about myself that somebody would like. And I hated myself for bothering you during lunch. I just thought it was my chance to be a good person, like to be nice and do the things you wrote about in that letter. I knew if I tried in the club, Sayori and Monica would be super annoying and make a huge deal about it.
You know, I think a lot of those negative things too, about myself. I never felt like a good person. I always scrutinize everything I say, and later I feel like I said all the wrong things.
Well, thanks for making it about you.
I just spent so much time thinking about myself, hating myself, and feeling like everyone else must hate me too.
That's accurate.
So I understand some of that through my own experience. And that's why I wanted to write the letter and express my feelings. It pained me to see those things in someone else that I saw in myself. Yourself. Natsuki sniffles. Yuri rustles through her bag and pulls out some tissues and then hands them to Natsuki.
What are these used for?
Monica told me that it takes a good person to reflect on these things. The desire to improve yourself, that makes you a good person, so don't worry so much. Also, there are things about you that other people would like.
She just runs a finger up her thigh.
So...
Like what?
Oh,
You've got a nice head.
Like how you're fun for people to be around, that's it. And you're not shy, and you know how to make people laugh. Haha, you. And you're very passionate about things, and you know how to take the lead. And you care a lot about other people, and just a lot of things.
Oh. Well, now you're making me feel really embarrassed.
Well, you're the one who asked, and don't you think I feel embarrassed? Natsuki tries to hide a smile, then she sighs as it fades again.
Every time I come here, I think it's the last time, then I keep coming back for some reason. I can't quit you.
Is that bad?
Just really confusing. I mean, my friends and I go way back, so ditching them all the time feels like, I don't know.
Feels like what? Natsuki's voice gets quiet.
It's okay, everyone always gives up on their friends for a bit when they get a new girlfriend. Maybe I'm scared they'll get mad at me. I really don't know what to do.
She pauses, and Yuri stares into the distance, tracing her eyes along the patterns of the floor tiles, while she thinks to herself. What would you do, hypothetically, if your friends were happy for you instead of mad at you?
Happy for what?
Happy that your new club is making you happy.
Well, that's just not a fair hypothetical.
Natsuki says that with a little confidence in her voice.
I always told myself that I don't rely on the approval of others to be happy. And I still feel that way, but I'm spending time with people who put me down whenever I don't have their approval. That's probably what's making me feel so confused. Because I'm threatened out of the things that should make me happy.
That's what I was trying to tell you the other day, but you snapped at me.
Right? So no matter what, it's like I have to be unhappy to be happy. It's making my head hurt.
That must make it really difficult to feel comfortable with yourself.
Yeah, martyring yourself is always the right thing to do.
Being made to feel like you're wrong just for being the person you are.
It really goes against everything I believe in, doesn't it? It goes against the kind of person I want to be. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with a lot of things.
Natsuki presses her palms into her forehead and shakes her head.
I almost nodded. I had to stop myself. I know it's best for me, but I keep convincing myself out of it. It's so much easier to be comfortably unhappy than it is to do something so scary.
To do what?
You know, to end it.
With them?
I was gonna say, because, like, in the main game, she's like, I don't have any friends.
Yeah. Natsuki nods. What a twist! I didn't think you were
one.
actively considering that as an option.
It wasn't, until recently. It's just one of those things when they're like... It's been a certain way for so long, and you can just get used to it. Like, so much of you has gone into it, so much that it feels like just how your life is.
You just continue to hang out with your friends even though it's like, oh, man.
It's like, why are we still hanging out with this guy? And throwing it away is like throwing away such a big part of your life. Makes me feel sick to think about it.
Natsuki sighs.
It's just really scary. It's terrifying.
What are you scared of?
Spiders. I don't know. A lot of things. Like being alone.
You don't like Amy, do you?
Not having anyone to talk or hang out with. Not being able to replace what I have with them. And I don't want them to hate me. And I'm scared they'll hurt me for going against them.
Physically?
Nah, I could take them. They're weak. Not physically. But...
sexually. Yuri clenches her fists. Natsuki.
What?
If anyone ever thinks to cause you harm, I do have a knife collection. I can back you up. I'll cut a bitch. I will unleash hell upon them.
I will rain blows upon them.
I will rain blows upon them. Natsuki snorts in laughter. Don't laugh at me.
Sorry, it was just... I like that. That's all.
Oh. Well, I meant it.
I know you did.
Natsuki gives Yuri an endearing look.
I needed it.
As the conversation lapses, Natsuki again slides her box of cupcakes over to Yuri.
Just take them, okay? I don't want other people to have them anymore.
Are you sure? Natsuki nods.
Huh? I'm sure.
I will then.
I need a nod counter.
No. I'll enjoy them. Natsuki looks away, but a feeling of warmth spreads through her.
These cupcakes are so spicy.
They spread through her loins. She holds on to that feeling, knowing it will give her courage. Ooh, we ain't done yet. We don't have a CG, boys. You're here first today.
Mm-hmm.
And you brought reading material.
Mm-hmm. Pamphlets for, like, the Church of Scientology or something.
Natsuki is sitting in her usual spot, this time holding a volume of manga, while her lunch sits beside her. Yuri sits down as well and opens her own book.
Sucks when a good series has to come to an end. I agree. Like, it's such a big part of your life, and then one day there's just nothing left. Makes you feel so empty.
Unfortunately, I'm about to experience that myself. I'm on the last book of this series.
That sucks. That's fine. He says he's going to write another one soon. The author's name is George R.
That's what I was going to say. I was like, he's going to die before he writes the last one.
Right.
But
at least I'll have the show to watch. The last season won't be disappointing or anything.
But there's also something satisfying about letting a story conclude. I don't know if I'd want it to go on forever.
Oh, I'm going to conclude. Maybe. But there's some things that I wish I could.
On the other hand, have you ever read something that overstayed its welcome?
Yeah, definitely. It's called The Fruit of Grisaya. I can think of at least one thing I read that got pretty unbearable like halfway through, and the ending really sucked. So it sucks when something good has to end, but it also sucks when they just keep inventing more plot until you don't like it anymore. Next time on Dragon Ball Z. Guess it sucks either way.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the nature of all things. They come to an end. The two fall silent, never to speak to each other again. They slowly eat while making their way through the respective reading material. Except Natsuki doesn't seem to be touching her food at all.
You don't go out on the weekends, right?
Excuse me?
Like with friends at the mall or downtown or whatever, or a fancy restaurant?
I'm not a total shut-in, you know.
Oh, my bad for making assumptions.
Well, I'm sure I go out less often than other people, like you and the others in the club. I don't really meet with friends and arbitrarily spend time like that. I'm usually meeting with my board game group. Oh, cool!
Board game group?
She's a lot cooler now.
Do you play Cones of Dunshire?
It doesn't matter. It's just more nerdy stuff. Oh, well, I do ask anyway.
I was just curious. I just realized that I couldn't picture it, so I was just curious.
Yuri looks at Natsuki and realizes that she's shaking.
Don't look at me like that.
Sorry. Natsuki pulls her knees into her chest and puts her head down.
I can't take this.
Did I do something? I'll never mention D&D again. I'm sorry. Yuri gets flustered, her mind racing over what she may have said or done.
I did. I ended it. I texted them earlier telling them, you can't text message breakup. And then I just blocked them because I'm so afraid of their responses.
Yeah, you just stop talking. You just ignore them.
Yeah, just blow them off. Now it feels like I'm dying inside.
They'll get the gist. Oh, that's... I'm sorry. Totally unsure of what to do. Yuri can barely find any words or of support to offer, so she just nods relentlessly.
Yeah, just non-stop nodding. My neck is starting to hurt.
Meanwhile, the sound of Natsuki's unusually hard breathing fills the air. They're gonna hug. Then she speaks again, barely above a whisper.
Help me. I feel sick and I want to hit my head against things. Please help, I can't take this.
You may be having a panic attack. With that realization, Yuri's demeanor suddenly changes. I have experience with this, so I'll help you through it, okay? Natsuki meekly nods, and through her rapid breath, head still buried in her knees. Yuri slides herself over to Natsuki and sits on the step behind her. Then she puts her hand on Natsuki's shoulders. Can you feel my hands? Natsuki nods. Her shaking becomes much more apparent through Yuri's sense of touch. Yuri keeps her voice low and gentle. I mean, it always is. It's Yuri.
Right.
You're safe right now. You're in a good and safe place where nothing can hurt you. Natsuki nods once more. Although Yuri is only touching Natsuki's shoulders, she can practically feel her racing pulse through the base of her neck. We'll do a breathing exercise together. All you have to do is listen to my breaths and breathe along with me.
All you gotta do is name a bunch of things that you see. That helps, like, ground you.
It's supposed to be like things you go through your senses. Like things you can see, smell, hear. Let's breathe in now. Yuri takes a deep, slow breath. Beneath her hand, she feels Natsuki's shoulders rise as Natsuki takes a breath of her own, trying to mimic Yuri. They exhale together, although Natsuki's breath shakes on the way out. That's good. Let's keep going. Yuri breathes in once more, and Natsuki joins her. They continue like that for a few more cycles while Yuri closely monitors. Eventually, Yuri feels Natsuki rest more of her weight into Yuri's palms. Let's focus on the physical world.
Oh my god.
all you have to do is focus on the feeling of your breaths going in and out.
That's a good pickup line. Hey baby, let's go focus on the physical world.
And the weight of my hands on your shoulders. You're in a safe and comfortable physical space. Oh, no CG.
What?
Minutes
Not over yet.
pass in silence. By now, the worst of it has passed, but Yuri's determined not to move away until Natsuki prompts her to. Meanwhile, Natsuki has lifted her head off her knees, and her breathing has mostly steadied. Then she takes a final breath and slowly pulls herself to her feet, causing Yuri to let go. She stretches her arms. Oh, don't go.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to freak out. I kind of fell asleep.
I love you. I'm sorry, what?
I don't know what my deal is.
You don't have to apologize. It's too late. This must be enormously stressful for you. Oh, I don't know what I'm saying. I'm sorry.
Is that going to keep happening?
It may, or it may not. We can take measures to help prevent it in the future, but I think it will be naturally get better over time. Natsuki motions to sit down again, so Yuri moves over. Yuri turns away to pick up her open book from the dusty floor, which she had hastily set down earlier. She brushes the dust off the cover.
I don't think I could have gotten through that alone.
You're not alone. I'm here still. Feeling shy again, Yuri speaks into her own lap. She said you're not alone to her lap.
Yeah, she's got to give it a pep talk sometimes.
You're not alone. Someone will be there shortly. Remain calm. From now on, you don't have to do anything alone. As she says that, Yuri tenses up. Oh, now I'm having a panic attack. Help me.
I forgot what you did. I wasn't listening.
It's rare for her to be so openly share her thoughts. But something about Natsuki, of all people, makes it feel so much more natural to do so. Perhaps because, like Yuri, Natsuki is so timid and uncertain of herself. Natsuki does such a good job at hiding it that it's taken a long time for Yuri to finally realize it. And because of that, Yuri is able to deliver the reassurance that she herself would have wanted, demonstrating that you deserve the love of others. If you can accept that for the first time, then perhaps you can begin the tumultuous journey of learning to love yourself.
Yay! Why are they sitting on the floor? They were sitting on the stairs. Do you really mean that?
It's comfier there.
Yeah. Probably gonna regret saying that if you do.
How so?
Because I'm probably gonna have a lot of free time during the weekends from now on. So you're giving me permission to be as annoying as I want to drag you around and do a lot of places.
Oh.
Never mind then. Go back to your friends.
I see.
But you already said it, so you can't take it back now.
Ah. Well, I suppose I have no choice but to accept that responsibility then.
Will you take responsibility? Mm-hmm.
YN.
I know a good ice cream place. That's nice.
Oh. That means you'll finally figure out my favorite ice cream flavor.
Huh? What are you talking about?
It's green tea. It's not really that surprising.
Right.
Oh, you don't remember? The first day that you came to the club, you guessed everyone's favorite ice cream flavor. But for me, you said you have no idea.
Seriously? I don't remember that at all.
Oh my god. It wasn't
Oh,
that
yes,
long
I
ago.
do. I said it was probably green tea.
Yuri shakes her head. They have officially changed
Oh
places.
my god.
It's a good guess, but my favorite is usually to get chocolate and raspberry together.
Chocolate and raspberry? Gross.
Oh.
How fancy.
How is that fancy?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just saying words. I feel like I should have guessed something like that.
Well, maybe next time I'll try chocolate and strawberry.
Hey, strawberry's my favorite.
I know. What a coincidence.
I think it helps to have something to look forward to. I still have that sick feeling in my stomach. But it's easier now to convince myself that I did the right thing.
Is there anything better I could be doing?
You need to shift your shoulder down. It's kind of poking my ear. Not that I know of.
Got some comfortable looking pillows there if I could just use those.
Right, just turn around. There's nothing that'll make this easy for me. And you already did more than I thought anyone could.
Mm.
Come to think of it, we never talked about the letter you wrote. But I feel like we're way past that at this point. I don't even know what to talk about. Except that I think it helped me understand my needs a little bit better. The way I like to be treated. I like notes. And the kinds of friends I want to have. They never wrote me notes. That's why I wanted to start coming here in the first place, even though I was so scared of causing more problems.
I thought it was a coincidence that you ran into me here initially.
Oh, well, not exactly. Stalker!
What do you mean?
Nothing.
Yuri nods.
I may have tracked you down first. With the help of Sayori.
That bitch! I mean...
She's at the top. She's been at the top of the stairs the whole time. Like, yes! Yes!
Just slowly moves the sign away. It's not actually out of order.
She's been directing people away from the stairs.
That's... But you said...
I wish I okay. I wasn't ready to, like... Whatever, you know what I'm saying.
Well, I guess I'm glad you worked up the courage. Even if it was your own way. I can tell that you've been making a lot of difficult decisions. It's brave, and it will make things better in the long run. I think anyone would be proud of you for it.
Anyone?
Especially your dad.
Yeah. You mean, like you?
Yes. Like me.
You know, I could get used to this. Me too.
Well, I really need to shift. My back is uncomfortable. As long as you don't tease me too much.
I have back problems for some reason. Fine. Just a little then.
That's fine. I know how uncertain everything feels to you right now.
Pauses on purpose? They have to be.
But I really do think that good things are in store. Those are my honest feelings.
Thanks. Feels nice to be reassured.
Now, what happens between now and then for them to just be like at each other's throats all the time?
You show up.
Well,
and like,
yeah,
it's Monica messing with them too.
Right.
Like she keeps messing with their code.
Right, because she just basically accentuates. Because like Sayori is already depressed and
she's
halfway suicidal.
Right.
And
but she just makes it. Go to the
amplifies
end.
it.
Because I imagine the original game, she is depressed, but it never gets to its suicide. Like.
Right.
It's either she dates the protagonist and is better, or she doesn't and is fine.
Yeah. The two girls continue their conversation through the remainder of lunch, but a new feeling hangs in the air, a feeling of greater certainty in their path forward. In just a few hours, there will be another literature club meeting where the 4 club members will happily spend time together.
And nothing will ever come between them.
Each of them, all with their own special qualities, have something unique that they can deliver to one another.
Cupcakes.
Through friendship and literature, the club members will continue to grow and find new happiness together. The end of each chapter is the start of the next. Yuri thinks to herself, since she's about to finish her long-running series, it would be best to have a new book lined up. Perhaps this weekend would be a good time to visit the bookstore. Together, as the journey continues.
Oh my gosh.
We did it.
Time to change the background.
Let's check it out.
We know what it is.
We're going to end... Well, yeah, but isn't there always
There's
a second
like
one?
A secondary
there
one.
isn't.
Well, I think we got them all. Yeah.
We missed a poem.
Weird. Didn't you? I thought you had to do them all to unlock it.
Yeah, I think I have to get it. It's probably just a random poem I missed.
Yeah.
So there we go.
There's 2 more CGs.
So do we have the...
Yep. Oh, it's just one big one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Equals.
snap.
Oh, man.
What's gonna happen? I wonder if it's just gonna be more saccharine, like, yay stuff, or if it's actually gonna start to get crazy.
Like at the end?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder if, like... I wonder if it's gonna end with the epiphany, or if it's just gonna ignore all of that.
Right. Yeah, I have no idea.
Well, we will find out next time.
Yeah. Equals. Finale.
Oh my god. Yuri nods.